Okay, welcome back to No Man's Sky, and we are going to do Dreams of the Deep today. Dreams of the Deep will appear once you have either completed 1616 or once you have warped 40 times, whichever one of those things happens first. They left us duty-bound to follow them, but I know where it will end. If you receive this, follow my coordinates and secure the site in case I don't make it back. Please. My starship processes the coordinates from the stranger's message. The transmission has decayed over time, but the location appears to be valid. Isn't striking me as an underwater area. What's going on? Hello there, random geck. Log 2015F, breach event plus 407 souls. If you are listening, you have likely found our final log. I leave this trace as a memory of my fallen friends, and a warning to others who may end up on our path. I cannot deny myself the vain hope that someone may find me, though I beg you, do not follow. The haunting transmission ends. I notice the stranger has left behind an upgrade module for the aeration membrane. I take the module. Its installation history contains the serial number of its owner's starship. Perhaps I ought to follow. Literally the opposite of what they asked us. So it's an S-class underwater protection module. You may notice I already have plenty of them. And that will kill them all. So, let's get rid of one. Going to recharge everything, as I seem to have gradually lost all of my charge to all of my hazard protection, because I've been going around for ages. Okay. Desperate to go to my base, isn't it? It's more like it. Yeah, there's a preparation there, it'll do. Really, you want to be doing this on a planet that's like mostly water, but I suppose this will have to do. Oh, hello ship. claim this ship too. What I am now going to do, because I don't want that to be my normal ship, is I am going to let me summon it. I'm going to have to go back and get in my normal ship, so I don't want to be stuck with this broken one. I want the broken one to go to my freighter and I'll fix it up later. I'm a poet and I don't know it. There it is. Breach event plus 4 souls. Most of the crew are dead. Only those of us who suited up when the asteroid hit survived the initial decompression. We were lucky that smaller starships were able to get clear before the hull imploded. None of our ships have hyperdrive capability. We should be able to retrieve the blueprints from the freighter's main databank, though it appears to have crashed in the deep ocean. Thankfully, we still have plans for the Nautilus. Download Nautilus plans. Okay, so I can create the Nautilus submarine and the marine shelter now. The Nautilus chamber requires 4 crystal sulfide, 5 metal plating and 100 salt, so I still need the crystal sulfide. So I would be getting stuff like all of this. This is the other one that I got a blueprint for, and these serve as sort of a resting point underwater. Construct the Nautilus. Okay, so pin the recipe. Cover sulfide vents. Chloride lattice, which I might need later. What we're looking for are some good old vents. There's a lot of salvage containers. There's a lot of armoured clams. There's another chloride lattice. Humming sacks, don't want them. There's a lot of chloride lattice lying around. Ah, there we go, crystal sulfide. Alright, you've got to collect this 3 crystal sulfide pretty quickly before this thing explodes at you. The heat really hurts. Here's another one. Oh, there's loads of them now. As soon as you start to get close to these things, they start to heat up. Okay. So let's build ourselves our Nautilus chamber. Here is our Nautilus. Now you may remember that early... Oh, got this stupid mod on. Okay, we have slightly less slots than this. I think I might... if I pause for just a second. Okay, so I figured a little bit of a workaround. Basically, if I take the mod off that gives me 48 slots on my exocraft, if I take it off and then forget to put it back on again before I go into my main game, then it destroys everything in all of my exocraft on my main game, which I don't want it to do. So I totally forgot to take it off before filming this. So what I've done instead is I have put explosive drones and mind control devices in all the locations that should not be unlocked, that aren't naturally unlocked. So we won't touch them. Those, count them as though they are dead slots. They're not really open to us at all. Okay, and you've then got all the remaining ones are our actual layout. Okay, now you may remember that way earlier on in the game I got you to collect some S-Class upgrades for the Nautilus, and that is because this thing, when it doesn't have any upgrades on it, moves very, very slowly. However, if we install all 3 of these now, we're not going to have that problem. It will move at a normal, sensible pace. And I'm going to install the 3 cannon ones ready for when we unlock the cannon. I've already collected some items from underwater, as you can see. Most of them you just saw me collect, which is chloride lattices, a couple of crystal sulfides, and then earlier in the game I got some living pearls and hypnotic eyes. Right, so let's continue anyway. We've got a Humboldt drive, but nothing to charge it with. We don't have a hydrothermal fuel cell. Not enough fuel in Humboldt drive. We need to get over there. Apparently. Is this just... No, it's changed me back. Construct a hydrothermal fuel cell to fuel the Nautilus. At which point, it would direct you to somewhere to go get the blueprint, I believe, but as I've already got it, it's not doing that. So let's just make it, shall we? Right, I need cytophosphate. So, I'm going to need to get out, if it will let me. Right, let me get out. Why can't I get out? There we go. Let's just collect a few different things. Alright, bear in mind that these little jellyfish horror thingies will attack you when you break down some plant life. And if you're not careful, you end up with a lot of them. And they only hurt you a little bit, but as there's a lot of them, you can very quickly end up getting overwhelmed. So realistically, you should only really be doing that in your Nautilus. Now I noticed that we've actually already unlocked a bunch of technology from the anomaly. I'm not going to install any of that though, because we should be doing it naturally in this mission. Right, so we need a hydrothermal fuel cell. I'm going to put that in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another one there ready, just in case we need more. Okay, what's next? These jellyfish, by the way, will chase you forever until you leave the water. Test the Nautilus submarine while I'm doing that. Explore the depths and search for signs of the strangers. Okay, so over here, which is unfortunately out of the water. Oh, actually seems to be doing alright here. Skimming along the surface, just notice how fast it's going. Yeah? It would be going at a snail's pace if we hadn't bought those upgrades. halfway across the planet. Where is it? 2 hours away, crikey. This is why we should have picked a proper water planet to do this on. So we wouldn't have this problem. The reason it's sending us so far away is that this planet doesn't have a huge amount of water, and therefore doesn't have a huge amount of space to put the underwater buildings that it wants to take us to. Right, to be fair, it seems to have a lot more water here. That's not what water is, some of it is. There's a lot more of these interesting islands again. It's a strange place to put that. Okay, these eye things again, abyssal horrors. Notice it won't attack me while I'm in the submarine, but that also means I can't kill it. So I need to get out. Shoot it in the eye. Attack, grab its hypnotic eye pretty quickly. Right, there'll be another one around the back. Somewhere. It usually is. It's usually 2. How odd. Oh, it's on the roof. I'll show you what happens. Tap to flee. Oh dear, my oxygen levels are depleting quite rapidly. Seriously. It's really annoying me how it doesn't put the oxygen, the underwater tech in your quick recharge for some reason. It's really very annoying. Where's the terminal? Right there. Despite the decay, the station's mainframe remains functional. The records have clearly been accessed by whoever came here before. The last entry is a download of a high-power sonar unit. But there is something strange. The timestamps have been purged, and there is no way to tell how long ago the crew was here. Was this place on land when it was last visited? The horrors that lurked outside must surely have come after. But what drew them here? Unless... Okay, I need ferrite dust. Great. Something which I cannot get from underwater. Need bigger version. Okay, so I'm not close enough to it, of course not. Still not close enough, seriously? Right next to the thing. Oh, okay, maybe I'm not right next to it. Do you know what? This will be funny. No, maybe it won't let me. No, it won't let me. Okay, I'm going to move you over and build my soda. High power sonar, right there. Crystal sulfide, ferrite dust, and salt refractor, which we would make out of the salt that we'd be mining down here. We would just need to put some salt and some chlorine together into a refiner, so it would need a medium or large scale refiner. Okay, right, so just hitting the sonar isn't enough. You need to be looking for specific things. So at the moment we are looking for sunken wrecks. So use high power sonar. Okay, we're looking for crashed freighter, I believe. Yep. Because that's what they all came looking for. They were on originally. It crashed on this planet in the water. They all went into their various different ships, well, those of them that survived the initial depressurization anyway. They went onto their individual ships, and at least one of those ships landed on this planet. Oh, come on. Really should have picked that planet for us. I don't know what possessed me to unlock all the technology for this. I knew that I was going to be doing this video. Oh well. Breach event plus 8 solves. Located the wreck, but the ship's computer was a washout. We salvaged what supplies we could and left. I don't want to be nearby when the water eats through the reactor housing. Tidal patterns here are increasingly strange. The water has risen rapidly, but we are yet to see it ebb. We could return and salvage more when the water falls away. The survivors made it back to the wreck of their freighter, but moved on soon after. I will have to do the same if I am to find them. Before I leave, I make one final search of the archives. There are no more clues, but I do locate blueprints for some aquatic construction modules. At least my journey was not in vain. I shut down the distress beacon. There is no one here to rescue. Okay, so I can now build a bunch of stuff for underwater. So, aside from my marine shelter, if I was on my base building right now, so if I were to pop down a base computer, we shall call it underwater wreck. Okay, so I can now access my full build menu, and as you can see we have the deep water chamber, which is one of the round rooms but covered in glass, the square deep water chamber, a moon pool floor, so you would put that in the bottom of one of those two in order to come out. So have I got enough? Yeah, that's not enough. Let's show you what I mean. I don't have the components for it, that's nice. Where's my submarine? They're in my submarine. Still missing some crystal sulfide. That's nice. Doesn't seem to be any nearby either. Oh well, you get the point. It puts the hole underneath. You can also have the watertight door, which that I can build. Right, so we go in, and now actually inside, and in the dry. Okay, there is various glass tunnels, and a vertical tunnel, which won't let me build because I don't have the crystal sulfide for, but it would go up or down. Large glass windows that you can add to, say, the square one. And then of course your marine shelters, which are a little easier to build than anything else, and you can pop them down anywhere that you feel that you're way away from base and you want a respite, a refuge, whatever you want to call it. If you manage to build up to the surface of the water, you can then join up with your land base. So obviously you would need your base computer to be within range of both where you want to build on land and where you want to build underwater. So, you know, maybe just pop your base computer on the coast. Okay, so what's next? Sunken buildings. 1 hour, I think, almost. Oh, the ship's over there. I'm going the wrong way. Again, if you pick the correct planet to do this on, you won't be hopping in your ship every 30 seconds. You'll be doing it all in your submarine, in your Nautilus, and you won't have anywhere near these kind of distances to travel. It's all luck of the draw about what planet you start this on, really. I suppose in theory I could stop doing this and go to a different planet to do it, but logically speaking, story-wise, that wouldn't make any sense. As we know, they crash landed on this planet and didn't have a way off, so though we can do that, we're not going to. Fairly certain this has brought us right back to where we were before, so it shows you how few buildings we've got underwater on this planet. Yep, things aren't even back. That is very annoying. It was my turn to dive today. Once again, nothing of interest, nothing but kelp and rocks. The water is yet to recede. Some of the crew have taken to swimming without their suits. It looks so inviting. Sunken buildings, you're going to struggle. Or even is it? 7 minutes that way. I don't think you want me to be doing this for 7 minutes, so where did my ship go? Over there. We went through all the trouble of getting the upgrades so we wouldn't have to be nice and slow. We're still being slowed down by the fact that we're having to use our spaceship to get everywhere. We should actually leave the planet this time. So this will be where there'll be nowhere to land, because we've suddenly got a decent amount of water. Back. Log accessed, signal echo distorted, recovering data. Breach event plus 21 days. A secondary dive team came back early today. They found a cave full of strange crystals, but the lights on the sub cut out and forced them home. They seem upset, disturbed, but we have to go back while we still have an idea of where it was, before the shifting tide robs us. We shall never build anything without advanced materials. We've fixed the lights on the Nautilus. I'm heading out. Breach event plus 23 days. We found the cave. I knew we would, but what a find! Great towering crystals of brilliant red, rich metal deposits, concentrated deuterium, all we could ever need. We might just make it after all. Now if only we could get a dry night's sleep. That's not too bad. We'll go to that properly. We might find some interesting things on the way, like some crystal sulfide, which I definitely am going to need plenty of. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. Ah! That's quite close. Where's my submarine gone? There. Some clams, let's get ourselves some more, let's destroy them by mistake, why not? So I think it was in the last video that I last encountered those clams, not in this one, so yeah, you've got to be the right distance away from them. If you're too close, they'll hit you as they open and propel you backwards, and if you're too far away, you won't get to them in time before they snap shut again, and that hurts you. Inventory full, apparently. Oh wow, yeah, okay. Let's get some of this into my Nautilus, shall we? Because that's where it belongs. Some Nautilus related stuff in the Nautilus now. Let's sort it out a little bit, shall we? Alright, we should have, let's see, salt, chlorine, cytophosphate. Yeah, whatever, that'll do for now. Oh, kelp sack can come down here. Nautilus. One thing that does annoy me about this particular mission a little bit is that there are actually quite a few different underwater biomes, as it were, like all the different things you can see under there, under the water. But the issue is that during this mission you are confined to one particular planet, so you only get to see one of those biomes. So it all begins to look a little bit samey after a while, because this is a semi-long mission, especially if you haven't upgraded your Nautilus properly. It's therefore really slow moving. Right, we know that the pattern is that you're on the roof. Yeah, so it would be nice if, like, I don't know, if there was some way that they could mix the biomes on one planet or send you to another planet for another part of this mission or something, I don't know. Breach event plus 98 days. I had the dream again. The endless purple waves, mile after mile after mile. A relief at first from the dull crimson ache. But then, I can't escape the feeling there's something else there. I look around and there's nothing. Nothing. I blink and I see them. Faint at first, just lines, but it's unmistakable. Repeated geometric shapes traced in the sky. Row after row of triangles slowly scrolling past. And I can't explain it, but it's the most terrible thing I've ever seen. It's almost a relief to wake up and see the rain again. 399 days. They've gone back to that wretched cave, every one of them. No one is listening to me. We can still build the hyperdrive. I know it. After that, flushing the salt out of the launch thrusters will be easy. 399 souls. We've all had the same dream, the same rambling, the teeth in the sky, those crystals. It's nonsense. There's nothing else down there. We've taken it all. But what can I do? Maybe we missed something. Maybe they're right. One last look won't hurt. Okay, so now we just have to travel around a bit, scanning as we go. We have to be a decent distance away from where we last scanned for it to work. So there we go. Distance scouted 100. Basically, as long as you keep moving, by the time your scanner recharges, you should be far away enough. Right, there we go. Yeah, anytime you come across a planet that's got a decent amount of water, I do recommend going and having a look, especially if you have actually upgraded your underwater tech to be able to survive down there. And once you've got your Nautilus from this mission, then absolutely be exploring underwater. It's like a whole other world, just like on our own. I do believe this is taking me right back to the original building again. Once again, I picked a poor planet for this. things I'm not finding anywhere underwater yet that I'm expecting to find. And I'm now wondering if they don't start appearing until you've done certain parts of this mission. It's quite a possibility. Maybe they're saving it for a very specific part of the mission, I don't know. Okay, back to our original building. Trapped, sub-reactor leaking. It grabbed me, but they're dead now. Their eyes are all shut. I think my leg is broken. My hand hurts. If I can just find an air tank, I can still get back home. The recording continues, but it's just hours of scratchy silence, the static of the currents. I have a haunting sensation of being watched. I wonder who this crew really were. It seems I will never find out. Inherited helmet of the lost diver. Transform your appearance of an exosuit or appearance model. Okay, so basically that's it, but we now need to install the remaining tech. So the Nautilus cannon, so that we can be mining stuff from inside our Nautilus now. Upgrade for... I need more living pearls apparently. Tethys beam. Living pearls again. So we need to have 16, yeah. Now, you seem to think I've got enough, and yet now you don't. I clearly have... Oh, I've got 4. Maybe that's... Oh, I don't know. And here we're going to install the Nautilus fuel. Right, again, we're going to need stuff we can't get from underwater for that one, but whatever. Okay, so let's go looking for some living pearls then. What I really want is to find a very specific underwater event that you can usually find fairly easily, but I don't seem to be seeing any on this planet. But it's utterly terrifying, so I want to show you it. I do believe that this thing is under the water in a cave. It's under the ground as well. Really do with being in my submarine. It's all out of air there. Can't ever notice that my frame rate's going again. Don't like that. Okay, so we may be done with the main mission of Dreams of the Deep, but I'm going to keep searching until I find what I'm after, because it's one of the best things about being underwater and I don't want to miss it. I want it as part of this video. Oh, that's my cannon, I don't want my cannon. Why are you stuck on the cannon? Because I've not built my beam yet, that's why. Oi. Essentially what we're looking for is something about as big as this, and about the same shape, but looks a bit different. Pick it up! Oh my god. There we go. It's really hard to play with it glitching like this. Okay. Looks like I've got no pearls left. But I can now mine, which is super handy. So you can gain large amounts of quite a lot of different materials very quickly. So that includes salt, oxygen, dihydrogen, cytophosphate, chlorine, carbon. What else? We've got armordite, yeah. Absolutely determined not to end this video until I have found the thing that I am looking for. What's that? What is that? Oh, that's another one of the eye monsters. He's hiding in the thing there. Abyssal horror. And it won't let me pick that up. It's going to disappear before I get the chance, isn't it? Oh, just in time. This is seriously ridiculous. Where are the things? Haha, found you. I knew I'd find one eventually. Although it's not very visible. It's got one of those big trees in the way, which is not very good. Okay. Right, what we have is a strange plant that has five different things on it that we can collect. Some Hadal cores. Ah, of course I got attacked straight away. Absolutely terrifying. Right, I want to find another one. I actually want to get some more Hadal cores than that. If you get really lucky, you can do 4 of them without the fish, whatever it's called. I've forgotten the type of fish. What are they called? Anglerfish. Without the anglerfish snapping out. Let's try over here. Bear in mind as well, they're a lot harder to kill than that just was for me, because I've got like the most amazing multi-tool in the world, like properly modded up and everything. So you're usually running away from that thing for quite some time. It's all luck of the draw about how many Hadal cores you get out of this first. And the Hadal cores are like the Whispering Egg's larval cores. They sulfur a lot, they turn into a whole lot of nanites in your refiner. Straight away again, really? Any others? There's another. See, now they're everywhere. Now that I've found one. Safely. Just going to refill my oxygen tanks.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
There's 2 I've got safe. Okay. Oh. Found an underwater building of some type. Oh no, it's my custom marker. I will shut up. Okay, well, I think that probably wraps it up for this video then. I think we can safely say that the crew that crashed in the freighter have all died. That they experienced some sort of hallucinations, joint hallucinations, because of whatever was going on in that cave. And that the one that was making all the logs survived longer than the rest, but also eventually died. Yeah, bit of a sad story really. But that's it. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.